Welcome back to Dating Decoded. I am Jake.
And I am Mia, your co-host. It's awesome to have you tuning in again today. Hope you're ready for some hard truths and logical solutions.
Today we're diving into a topic that, well, it might be a little debated in some circles, but we really believe it holds some incredibly valuable insights for making truly authentic connections.
Oh, for sure, Jake. It's all about, moving past the old ways of thinking about meeting people and beating that dreaded approach anxiety. There are techniques and methods for becoming more natural, more genuine in our social interactions. We're going to explore some ideas that might seem a little unconventional at first, but really they're about fostering genuine engagement.
Exactly. It's not about scripts or, cheesy lines. It's about understanding human psychology a bit better to just be more ourselves and connect on a deeper level.
Jake, it's funny. For so long, the idea of approaching women just felt so stiff, right? Like there was a formula, a set of lines you had to use, and if you didn't, you'd fail.
Oh, absolutely. It was all about trying to be someone you're not or, just having a really rigid script in your head. And if you deviated even a little bit, it felt like a disaster.
Yeah, exactly. And what we're really talking about today, the core of this whole approach, is moving away from that. It's about how do you just naturally interact? How do you let genuine connection unfold without it feeling like a performance?
That's the key, isn't it? It's shifting from thinking you need to do something perfectly to just being yourself, but a more confident, more aware version of yourself. And a huge part of that, honestly, is tackling that initial hurdle, approach anxiety.
Yes, approach anxiety. Gosh, who hasn't felt that knot in their stomach? Like when you see someone interesting across the room and your brain just goes, nope, abort mission. What if I look stupid? What if I say the wrong thing? And this isn't just a man thing. Girls have this too. Although, if I'm completely honest, you guys have it way worse.
Don't we know it? Approach anxiety is tough. It's that internal monologue that just screams all the worst case scenarios. And what's interesting here is that this new approach, it actually helps to alleviate some of that pressure because it's not about nailing some perfect opening line. It's about, just engaging.
Yeah, it's like it takes the pressure off. Instead of thinking, I have to get their number right now or I have to impress them, it becomes, I just want to have a pleasant interaction. And for me, that mindset shift was huge. It made me feel so much more comfortable, like just being in the moment.
Totally. It's about fostering that authentic connection. And that starts with just, being human. Yeah, totally. It's about fostering that authentic connection. And it brings us to a really interesting concept that Neil Strauss talks about, which is what he calls perceived social value.
Oh, I love this one actually. Because it's so true, right? Like whether we realize it or not, we're constantly making these quick judgments about people based on social cues. It's not about being judgmental in a negative way, but more like, is this person someone I'd want to, grab a coffee with? Are they someone I could see myself connecting with?
Exactly. It's almost like an unconscious assessment of someone's overall vibe, their perceived contribution to a social interaction. And it's not just about how good looking someone is, though of course that plays a part for some people, but it's so much more than that.
Oh, for sure. For me, if I'm being honest, when I meet someone, yes, initial attraction, sure, that's there. But what really locks me in, what truly makes someone appealing is their overall presentation, how they carry themselves. Like if someone clearly takes care of themselves, if they seem comfortable in their own skin, that's huge.
And the article really highlights that, saying this value can be built through appearance, working out, styling, but also things like body language. And then crucially, reputation.
Reputation is so interesting to me because it's not about being famous or anything. It's more like, do you seem like a fun person? Do you host cool gatherings? Do you have an interesting circle of friends?
Yeah, exactly. It's that idea of social proof, right? If you're seen as someone who's engaging and enjoyable to be around, someone that other people gravitate towards, it naturally elevates your perceived value.
Oh, I definitely see that. I remember there was this one guy I met at a party once, and he wasn't like traditionally hot, but he was just so charismatic. He was telling stories and he had everyone around him laughing, and he clearly had like a really close-knit group of friends who just adored him. And instantly I was like, wow, he's really cool. It was his entire social package, not just his looks.
That's such a great example, Mia, because it's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about genuinely cultivating these aspects of your life. Like if you generally are someone who's, fun to be around, if you do host parties and you have interesting friends, then that just naturally shines through. You're not trying to put on a performance.
Right, exactly. And it's also about your body language too. Like, are you open? Do you make eye contact? Do you seem approachable, or are you kind of, closed off?
Oh, that's huge. Someone with confident, open body language immediately signals like, I'm comfortable here, I'm happy to engage, versus someone who's, hunched over, looking at their phone, not making eye contact, which sends a totally different message.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that this social value isn't about being like the loudest person in the room or anything. Sometimes it's the quietest person who just seems so intriguing and confident that draws you in. It's an internal thing that just projects outward.
Absolutely. It's that authenticity again. And the article frames every social entry as a performance to establish presence without overt intent, which for me doesn't mean you're being fake or anything, but rather you're aware of the impression you're making and ensuring it's an authentic one.
Yeah, it's about being present, I think, being aware of your surroundings and just, engaging with the world around you, not just like waiting for someone to notice you.
Precisely. And that's really foundational to the next piece of this, which is how you actually initiate these interactions without, sending the wrong signals right off the bat. Precisely. And that's really foundational to the next piece of this, which is how you actually initiate these interactions without, sending the wrong signals right off the bat. It's what's called the indirect approach.
Ooh, the indirect approach. This is so smart because honestly, if someone just walks up to me and immediately hits on me, my defenses just shoot up, instantly.
Yeah, exactly. The goal here is to interact without immediately signaling romantic interest. It's about avoiding that subconscious translation of a simple, hi, I'm Jake, or can I hold the door, into something potentially loaded. It's just not about that.
Right. It's about making a normal human connection first. Like if you come in too strong, it's a lot and it makes me uncomfortable, frankly.
Totally. And Strauss actually talks about this engaging everyone in a group first, especially ignoring the target initially, which, sounds a little counterintuitive, but it's meant to lower defenses and build comfort. It's about building that social proof.
Oh, I know exactly what he means. I've been in situations where someone came into our group and immediately started trying to just talk to me, and it felt so forced and honestly a little bit like they were singling me out in a weird way. But then I've had other people come in and they just engaged the whole group. They were funny, they were charming with everyone, and then eventually they'd get around to talking to me more directly. And that felt so much more natural. It made me think, oh, this person is just friendly and confident, not just, trying to get my number.
That's it. It really creates this neutral, comfortable conversation ground. And the article gives an example of Strauss himself bonding with Madonna's entourage rather than directly approaching her, which, when you think about it, reduces pressure on everyone and positions him as non-threatening. He's just, part of the social fabric there.
That's brilliant because if you can charm the people around the person you're interested in, they're going to be so much more relaxed and open to talking to you, right? It's like you've already been vetted by their friends.
Yeah, it's like a soft entry, So let's try a little demonstration. Say we're at a coffee shop and you're with a couple of friends, just chatting, and I want to come over and say hello. Instead of just walking up to you directly and being like, hey, I think you're cute, which is probably not the move.
Definitely not the move.
I might walk past and overhear something you're talking about and make a comment to the group. Or, I don't know, maybe I'm looking at the menu and I can't decide and I ask the group for their opinion on a drink. So you're with your friends. What are you guys talking about?
Okay, so my friends and I we're totally debating which is the best season of this new show everyone's watching, The Golden Bachelor or something like that.
Ah, The Golden Bachelor. Classic. Okay. So I walk up, I'm kind of like casually looking at the menu. Maybe I just got my drink and I kind of lean in. Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear. Are you guys debating The Golden Bachelor right now?
Yeah, we are. I'm telling them season 2 is clearly superior and they're just not listening.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, come on. Everyone knows it's season 1. The drama, the sheer, unexpected twists. You can't beat the original.
Oh my gosh, no. See, this is what I'm talking about. My friends are also like season 1, season 1. It's so frustrating.
See? Now we've got a conversation going, right? I'm not directly hitting on you, Mia. I'm engaging the group. We're talking about something light and relatable, and it creates this natural in. And if I want to talk to you specifically later, after we've all been laughing and bantering.
Yeah, then it would feel totally natural if you just turned to me and said, so what's your take on, Jerry and Theresa's relationship?
Exactly. It's so much less pressure. It feels organic. And that's the beauty of the indirect approach. It takes the heat off.
It really does. It's like you're not trying to force a connection. You're just allowing one to happen naturally.
And speaking of natural connections, it gets even more interesting when you're approaching what the article calls mixed sets. That's groups with both men and women. This is where it gets a little nuanced, but also, I think, really smart.
Oh, yeah, mixed groups can be tricky. You don't want to step on anyone's toes or, make it seem like you're only there for one person, especially if there are other guys in the group.
Exactly. Strauss actually gives specific advice here. He suggests winning over the men first. And I know it sounds a little calculated, but it's really about diffusing potential male ego objections and disarming any resistance. It's like you're showing you're not a threat. You're just, a cool person engaging with everyone.
See, that totally makes sense to me. I've been in groups where someone comes up and immediately tries to just talk to me or my guy friends or my boyfriend if I was with him. They get a little defensive. Or they just kind of shut down the conversation because they feel like their space is being invaded or that I'm being targeted.
Right. It's that protective instinct almost. And by engaging the men first, you're kind of saying, hey, I see all of you. I respect this group dynamic. It's about creating that neutral, comfortable conversation ground for everyone.
Yeah. I remember one time I was out with a few friends, 2 girls and 2 guys, and we were at this outdoor market, and this guy came up, and instead of just trying to talk to me or my other female friend, he saw that my guy friend was wearing a band t-shirt, and he just started chatting with him about the band.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And my friend immediately lit up, They got into this whole conversation about music. And then it just organically expanded to the rest of us. He asked our opinions, and then eventually he turned to me and my other friend. And by that point, everyone was laughing, everyone was engaged, and there was zero weirdness. It was just a natural conversation among a new group of people. And I actually gave him my number because it felt so, easy and respectful.
That's a brilliant example, Mia. It really is about integrating yourself into the existing social fabric rather than just plucking someone out of it. It shows social intelligence. And once you've disarmed those initial, potential barriers, then the whole dynamic just shifts. It's much more open.
Yeah, it's he didn't even have to try to get my number. He just had to be a cool, friendly person who could talk to everyone. And that's way more attractive, honestly.
Absolutely. And the article points out this technique is even applicable when you're meeting famous individuals because it's about universal social dynamics, not just dating. If you can, get the entourage on your side, so to speak, you're in a much better position.
It's you're just becoming part of the vibe, right? Instead of being an outsider trying to break in.
Exactly. It's subtle, but it's effective. It builds rapport with the entire group, which then, lowers everyone's guard, including the person you might be interested in. So building on that, being part of the vibe and not forcing things, the article really dives into something super relatable for a lot of people: overcoming what it calls approach anxiety. It's that feeling, that hesitation, that knot in your stomach before you even say hello.
Oh my gosh, approach anxiety is like a universal human experience, isn't it? Even if you're not trying to, pick someone up, just walking up to a new group at a party or introducing yourself at a networking event, it's nerve-wracking.
Absolutely. And the article, it gets a little deep here, suggesting it can be rooted in things like shame or even past trauma from perceived inadequacy. But it quickly pivots to reframing that nervousness, not as a sign to retreat, but as an opportunity.
Yeah, like instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to bother them or they probably don't want to talk to me, you're supposed to think, maybe I can add something positive to their day, which is a huge mental shift.
Exactly. It's about shifting from self-consciousness to thinking, how can I enhance this person's experience? It counters those common excuses we tell ourselves. Like the article mentions, I don't want to intrude. And the rebuttal is, well, if you're approaching with positive intent, you're not intruding, you're offering connection.
Right? Like I've had so many moments where someone approached me and my initial thought might be, oh, here we go. But then they say something genuinely kind or funny, and I'm like, oh, wow, that actually brightened my day. It's never about the intrusion itself. It's always about the intention behind it.
And then there's the other classic excuse, every guy has approached her, which the article points out, ironically, suggests she's approachable. It's like your brain is trying to find any reason to keep you safe in your comfort zone.
Totally. Or the fatigue excuse, like, oh, I'm too tired to talk to anyone new. But then it's like, if there's genuine attraction, wouldn't that override the tiredness? You're not too tired to connect with someone you're truly interested in. That's just a cover up for the fear, really.
It's a great point. It's really asking, are you truly tired or are you just scared? Because if someone you were genuinely excited about walked into the room, I bet that tiredness would magically disappear.
Oh, 100%. I remember one time I was at this really long conference. I was absolutely drained. Like I just wanted to go back to my hotel and order room service. But then during a coffee break, this guy I'd been noticing from across the room who was presenting on a topic I found fascinating earlier came up to me.
And what did he say? Was it like a direct line or?
No, it was actually really simple. He just said, hey, I noticed you were really engaged during the session on AI ethics. I'm trying to wrap my head around this one specific point, and I was wondering if you had any insights. He made it about the topic, about an interesting thought, not directly about me.
Perfect. So he reframed it into a shared intellectual curiosity.
Exactly. And suddenly my tiredness just vanished because it wasn't an intrusion. It was an opportunity to engage in a conversation I was genuinely interested in with someone who seemed genuinely interested in my thoughts. We talked for ages, totally forgot about the time. And yeah, we ended up grabbing dinner later that week. It was just such a natural flow, all because he pushed past whatever hesitation he might have had to ask a simple, curious question.
See, that's the core of it, isn't it? It's not about being fearless. It's about acknowledging the fear and choosing to act anyway, because the potential for a genuine connection, for an interesting conversation, for enhancing someone's experience outweighs that discomfort. And when you reframe it as I'm offering something, I'm not taking, it changes everything.
It really does. It takes the pressure off, too. You're not succeeding or failing an approach. You're just engaging. And that's a much healthier mindset for all social interactions, not just dating.
I think that's a good place to wrap up. Take the pressure off, guys, and use these techniques and ideas because, well, they work. It's been proven, it's been demonstrated, and it's been tested. All you need is a little confidence and the right mindset, and away you go.
Yep. And thanks to Neil Strauss today for all of his input. I know the guys salute you, sir.
Until next time, thanks for tuning in and happy dating.